When I think about Oris, I actually think about the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date. I know they have some bangers in their lineup. Really, the Aquas is up there as well. But this model, well, there's a bunch of different configurations, and this one's a new one. So that's why we're going to talk about it. But the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date is probably like one of the more iconic ones, at least to me. And it's been around in the Oris lineup since 1938. So it's kind of cool to see some refreshing colors as well as a little bit more modern design. That's what this one is. I like this. I appreciate this. I do still tend to lean more towards that more vintage looking one. The Movember one is actually my favorite one. But these are up there. These are really nice, and I think this was a really good, clean, timeless design for the future. So big thanks to Saltzmans in Rhode Island. Let me quiet that because that can get annoying. Sorry about that. You probably checked your phone. Did I just get a text? No, I did, and I forgot to turn it off. So sorry about that. But made you look. So Saltzmans in Rhode Island, my guy Richard there, sent over these 3 watches, a couple Citizens and this Oris. So I don't get Oris on the channel enough, honestly. I think they're a great brand and they put out some great watches. So I will request some more Big Crown Pointer Dates. Hopefully I'll get all, I think there's 3 new colors in this configuration. So I would like to see the other 2. Anyway, link in the description to get a hold of Richard and Saltzmans and all that stuff. The case on this measures, according to my calipers, at 39.9 millimeter. The lug to lug is a 47.4 millimeter. You can see a mostly polished setup here with brushed on the top and then brushed outer flanks on the bracelet, polished in the center. So good mix of finishing on this. We'll try to do some close-ups. Thickness is only 12.4 millimeter. You can see that unique shape to that sapphire crystal up top. 20 millimeter lug opening, and this H-link bracelet tapers down to 16, and then you have this, I don't think it's called a butterfly, is it? Is it called something else? It's kind of like a butterfly, but so you have like, it comes over 1/3, and then this one comes over 2/3 the way. I think Omega does something similar like that on some of their watches, but interesting design. It makes it flow really nice, lines up perfectly, and you get those double pushers there. And then this one's just a friction fit. You just kind of pop it loose. And then, of course, you have that Oris red rotor on the back. The movement in this is the caliber 754. I believe it's a Sellita. I could be wrong. I didn't zoom in, but pretty sure it's a Sellita. And then you have, of course, the Big Crown is actually a signed Big Crown. It is 7.5 millimeter, and it keeps 50 meter water resist. I kind of have a hard time believing that too. I suspect it's more, but regardless, 50 millimeter with a screw down crown, you're fine. You could swim in this. I go ahead and give you your pass on that. Like if you get pushed in the pool or you want to take a quick dip or something like that, you could do it with this watch. It's not a problem. Typically, I would say avoid that, but I think you're good with this one. The price point on this is just over $2,000. So do your best to negotiate good terms with Saltzmans. Develop a relationship, and I think it'll pay off. I think you'll find yourself some good deals from the crew over at Saltzmans in Rhode Island. So this is a beautiful turquoise dial. And like I said, I'll hopefully get the other 2, but hopefully, there we go. You can see a little bit. Those numbers look like they're, I can't tell if they're, nope, they're applied. I at first thought they were pressed. I think they're applied. I can see like a little shadow line in between them and the dial. So I think they're applied. Interesting. I really thought it was pressed. That's, you know, the naked eye can only see so much. When you zoom in with these cameras or macro lenses or anything, yeah, you can see a little bit more. So you have that traditional railroad track going around the outside, that broad arrow, uniquely colored, kind of greenish color, pistachio color maybe, is your pointer date. It's pointing at the 13th. So if we go ahead and unscrew the crown, you can wind it there, you can pop it out one position, and then you can advance the date. That is the date. So pretty dang cool to have those 4 hands and no date window. It keeps the symmetry of the dial and just makes it look great. let me put it on my 7¼ inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. I, of course, did not size it because it's a brand new watch. I wouldn't have to take out too much, though. And you do have half links, it looks like, which is hard to do with a H-link, so I don't know if that is. I think it is. I don't know. But there it is on my wrist. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with these big crown pointer dates. And the original ones, or I say original ones, the last generation, the one that I said that I liked, I might have to revisit that because they have like this kind of coin edge bezel going around, and I really do like that, but it might be like a little too fancy looking or too ornate, whereas this one's just more of a traditional polished bezel. So I think that really helps bring it up to date, if you will. You know, everything's clean and bright. Yeah, they did a great job. Let's give it a quick blast with the UV light. We'll turn off the studio lights. Check out the loom. Oris usually does a pretty good job with the loom too. Yeah, there we go. So they loomed up the Arabics, the hour and minute hand. And I don't see any loom on the pointer date, but you really wouldn't help you much anyway because you can't see the date numbers, and that would complicate things even further. So you can see the time at night, and that's all you really need to see. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.